Hello and welcome to your yoga practice. For today's session, all you will need is a chair. You can have a blanket handy if your knees are sensitive. That would be something handy to have. Otherwise, we will begin on our backs. So lie on down, knees bent, bottoms of your feet to your mat. And take these first few moments, let the spine relax, feel the set of the shoulders. Notice where you initially land. Feel the contact points of your body in the mat. And taking one shoulder at a time, just adjust the shoulder blade so it's scaling down the back. You're relaxing it down onto the back body. And then maybe you can extend and reach the crown of your head a little more forward and finding more length and ease in the back of your neck. Feel where your arms are in relationship to your body. Are the palms down? Are the palms up? How are the arms rotated? And just notice the placement of the arms there, where they landed. If you need to make an adjustment, if there's an adjustment to make to create a little more space and broadness across the upper back, maybe taking arms wider, or maybe you're comfortable with the hands resting on your ribs or your belly. Feeling the positioning now of the feet. Is the placement of your feet, is that organization in a way that feels good for the hips and the knees, right? So know that you can bring the feet a little wider if that feels better, a little further away from the hips if that feels better, or closer in. There's all of these adjustments we can make to come in to your most comfortable position and take a few more moments to find some ease and stillness. Begin to focus on your breathing. Notice how the breath is coming in and going, noticing the quality. And we'll just use this moment of stillness to counter the busyness that we tend to be under, or the busyness that we tend to take on throughout our day, right? So the stillness becomes a counter to our day. Cultivate a sense of curiosity and awareness, focus and attention into how it is that you feel currently with your body, and continue with that curiosity and that attention as we continue to move throughout our practice. Begin to develop a slightly longer inhale, matching that length of your inhale with your exhale, that coherent breath. And ideally we're breathing in and out the nose, but if you're uncomfortable with that, maybe breathing in the nose and out the mouth. That's fine too. But there's a softness in the neck and the back of our throat. So we're not restricting the breath. It's smooth and slow and steady. And then from here, begin to take one knee into your chest at a time. Grab onto each knee, okay? So holding on separately, hand to knees here, and begin to circle the knees apart from one another and then back to center. Keeping contact with the hands and the knees pretty much the whole time. Okay, now just depending on the length of your arms and how big these circles are, that may not be possible, but for now, just find this gentle, fluid, circular motion. Relax the spine, just continue to move the legs, and what we're doing here is we're facilitating the movement of our upper thigh bone in the hip socket. And you can start to feel that warmth. Go ahead and reverse that rotation. Just take the circles in the opposite direction. So you're starting to feel that energy and that warmth, that pooling of your blood and the fluid in the hip joint. And just let the thigh bone continue to rotate around. And then just bring the knees back into your chest and back together, and release just the left foot down and continue to draw the right knee in toward your ribs, your shoulder. Maybe roll out the right ankle, making these circular motions with the foot. Take it in the opposite direction. And then just simply point the foot and flex the foot, point and flex, getting some space in the bottom and the top of the foot here. And then see if you can stretch the toes apart from one another. It feels kind of weird. See if you can lengthen the neck of each toe. And now simply grab behind your right leg and reach and extend through the heel. The leg doesn't have to go straight, and then rebend. And kind of gently hug that thigh in with the hands to the back of the leg. There's just a gentle compression drawing in. And extend and bend. Good, one more, extend, and then bend, and then release that foot down to the floor. Okay, just take a moment to pause and feel. Maybe even close the eyes if that helps you to really feel into the sensation. Feeling into the right hip, the front, the back of the leg. Okay, and then from there, open the eyes and hug just the left knee in and start by hands around the shin or right below the knee there. And just take a moment to draw the leg in. Relax and lengthen the right knee. You can even take your right hand on the skin of that top of the right thigh and just gently brush down, just signaling to the thigh just to lengthen and create space there in the front of the hip. And maybe start to roll through your left foot, big circles with the foot here, releasing through the ankle joint, moving it in both directions. So just reversing that circle. And then point the foot and flex the foot, point and flex, point and flex. And then maybe open the toe, see if you can separate the toes, stretch the bottom of the foot. So we're getting some length on the fibers on the tissue on the bottom of the foot there in the arch. And now take the hands behind the leg and simply extend through the heel as you take that foot up toward the ceiling and then rebend. And again, there's that gentle drawing of the thigh bone in. So you're using the hands to encourage deeper flexion there through the hip joint. And all the while, the shoulders and the spine and the head is resting on the floor. Relaxed state there. Okay, go ahead, pull it in one more time. Give it a nice little squeeze. And then release that down to the floor. Okay. And then from here, take both knees in. So one knee and then the other knee. So both knees are now stacked above the hips. And they're, each hand has a hold of the knee. As you inhale, go ahead, straighten through the arms. Draw the knees away from the belly a little more. And then as you exhale, bend the elbows and encourage the legs in. Okay, inhale, arms go straight, thighs move away. Exhale, bend the elbows, draw the knees in. So syncing, coordinating this movement with our breathing. So slow the motion down so that it can be matched and synced with our breathing. Inhale, we reach and lengthen and open. Exhale, draw it in. You can continue just like this, or on the inhale, stretch the legs up, take the arms overhead. As you exhale, gather yourself back into center. Again, inhale, exhale, twice more, inhale, exhale. Last one here, inhale, really go the distance, lengthening through the limbs, exhale. Nice, and then bring both feet down one at a time to your mat and simply roll to your left side. Make a pillow with your hand, or you can actually have a pillow underneath your head too. That's the nice thing about practicing at home, but I'm just gonna bend my bottom elbow and rest my head on my arm. Knees are bent, slightly forward of the body. Right arm is going to reach forward. Let the fingertips just rest to the floor. And then from here, begin to circle this right arm back overhead, behind you, and then down toward your hips and your feet, forward toward the knees, and then right back around. Just big, wide circles here. The arm is relaxed. And we're working this rotation in the shoulder. Take a pause when you come back to your starting point and then reverse that rotation. Just move it in the opposite direction. Rest the head, continuing to breathe slow and steady. Good, just one more here. And then pause. As you inhale, reach that right arm up. And then as you exhale, if there's any more space to go back behind you a little bit, take the arm back. And then inhale, come back up to the ceiling. Exhale, lower it down. Let's just do that twice more. Inhale, reach and open the right arm up toward the ceiling. Exhale, let it continue to go behind you any amount. And it might not, and that's okay. Inhale, exhale, one more inhale. Exhale, continue to find a little more space wherever that is for you. Come back to center, inhale, exhale, lower. Good. And then start to bring yourself into a more straight line. So lengthen through the legs, reach and extend your left arm, your bottom arm out, and you're just lying on your side. A little bit of balance work here with our core. Take your right hand, your top hand, and reach it overhead to meet your left. With the left hand, grab that right forearm or the wrist and just gently encourage that right arm to reach a little further. And then can you press through the top heel? So you're pressing through the top heel, you're reaching and stretching through the right arm. And take a couple deep breaths there and start to feel the side body lengthening. Feel the ribs along the right side starting to open and get space. And really reach and press through your right heel. That's your top heel. And then just relax that, release it, let it go. Take a moment to pause. It's always good to pause and to feel that, to feel the after effect there. Okay, and then from here, roll on to your right side. So I'm going to go ahead and flip around so I can stay facing the camera. So roll onto your right side, make a pillow with that bottom arm, your right arm, or grab a pillow, even better option. And then take the left arm forward, the knees will be bent and comfortable. Begin to take this left arm up overhead, bring it back behind you, down toward your hips and your feet, and then toward the knees, forward, and then right back to where you started and back around. So just take a couple more in this direction. Kind of opening up through the upper breathing space, the upper rib cage, and then reverse that rotation. And we're even getting into just invigorating every cell within our lungs, like opening up. Increasing our capacity to breathe. And then pause. Again, inhale, extend. This time, reach it straight up. And then exhale. If there's any more room, capacity, availability to go back a little bit, go back a little bit. And then inhale back up and exhale back down. Twice more. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, let it continue to move. Inhale. Exhale, slowly lower with control. Last time. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Start to straighten through the legs. If it's better for you, the bottom knee can be bent. Right arm, that's your bottom arm, is going to reach forward, and then the top arm is going to stretch up overhead as well. With your bottom hand, your right hand, grab the wrist or the forearm of your left and gently encourage that arm to reach a little higher toward the front of your mat, and then stretch and press through your left heel. So a lot of length happening along the left side body, the ribs, your waistline. Take another moment just to lengthen out and breathe in. And then release and relax and let it all go. Okay? And then from here, while we're on our side, go ahead and just roll onto your stomach. Transition onto your stomach, and the legs will be straight behind you. Come on to the forearms. So the elbows will be underneath the elbow, or the elbows will be underneath the shoulders. Okay, open the fingers nice and wide, tops of the feet relax to your mat. Press the forearms down. Use the upper arm strength and the upper back strength to prop your chest and your ribs away from the mat. So coming into this extension through the spine, but then what I want you to feel for is the placement of the shoulders. For the tendency is to have the shoulders creeping by the ears and we're kind of collapsed through the neck. Strengthen through the upper back, find that openness in that space. Take the shoulders, tops of your shoulders down, and lengthen the ears away from the top of the shoulders. And just hang out here for another moment and breathe. And now I want you to take your elbows slightly more forward from the shoulders and then bring them over toward the right. Bring them over to the right. Press them down, lift the chest, and then take your left toes and tuck them under so the bottom of the toes come to the floor. And then from here, press through the heel. So there's going to be engagement through the left thigh. The left knee is going to lift. Press through that left heel. Press the left forearm down. Lift the chest. And you should feel a really nice opening along the front of the left ribs, the psoas, left low belly, left hip. Okay, it could be subtle, could be substantial. Either way, just breathe with it. Taking a few deep breaths here so you can feel the expansion in the lower breathing space on the left side. And then relax the top of your left foot back to the mat. Walk the forearms back to center. And then continue taking them over to the left corner, the left side of your mat. Forearms down. And then this time, tuck your right toes under, so the bottom of the right toes come to the floor. Really press and lengthen through the heel. So the right knee will lift, the right thigh will lift. Press the forearms down, lift and open the chest. Scoop the chest forward, couple of breaths. Breathing in right low belly, right rib cage, right hip flexor and psoas. And by now you're probably feeling a lot of work happening, a lot of energy in the upper arms and the upper back. So this is a strength component. Release, top of the foot down, walk the forearms back. And from here, we'll bring ourselves up to tabletop. Okay, so up to all fours. And from all fours, open the fingers nice and wide, spread the fingers so the palm is stretched, knees below the hips. Take an inhale here, and then with your exhale, push the mat away, lower the tailbone down, pull the belly up and dome the upper back. Get a nice stretch there through your spine. As you inhale, let the belly come down, lift the chest and the chin, arcing the spine. And then exhale, round the spine. So coming into cat pose, let the head drop. Inhale, lift the tailbone, lift the head as the belly drops. Good, let's do that one more time. Exhale. And inhale, really good to hydrate our spinal column and the tissues along the spine. Okay. And then just come back onto all fours. And then from here, let's make our way on up to standing. So if you're close to your chair, you're close to a wall, bringing the one foot forward and coming on up, taking your time. Okay, and then I'm gonna grab my chair and bring it in front of me. Make sure that your chair is stable and won't move or slide. Okay, and then to start, hands on top of the chair, walk your feet back, and then go ahead and separate the feet a little wider, outer hip distance apart, and then go ahead and lower down so you're nice tabletop with the torso. And then if you prefer, you can grab onto the outer edges of your chair. I find that creates more space across the shoulders and the upper back. If you're more comfortable to have your hands on top of your surface or your chair, that's fine too. And just start to bend one knee and then the other knee. Okay, alternate bending right knee, bending left knee. Okay, so not holding anything static or still, but finding a little bit of movement in our forward fold here. Feeling this stretch sensation along the side seams of our legs and our hips and the sides of our waist. And then come two straight legs. Bend your left knee quite a bit. Keep the right leg fairly straight and start to just turn the chest and belly toward the right. And then release it. Both legs are straight-ish. You know, there's probably a bend in the knees, and that's totally fine. In fact, I would encourage a bend in your knees. Bend the right knee a little deeper than the left knee is, and then slowly turn the belly and the chest toward the left, and then undo it. Take your time, bring your feet a little closer together, and then bring them slowly forward as you walk back up to stand at the back of your chair. Okay, and then just take a moment there to pause and to feel and to recalibrate. Okay, and then from here, creating a little bit of circulation and movement for our legs. I'm going to turn profile. You can just step a little bit further back from the chair. Inhale, take the arms overhead, palms will be forward. And then with your exhale, bend the knees, bring the hands back behind you. Let the knuckles rest to the low back and the palms turn away as you come into this nice little squat. Inhale, reach the arms around and up, palms forward. Exhale, bend the knees. Keep the chest open, the spine long. Inhale. Exhale. We're holding the head, so the neck is a nice extension from the shoulders. Inhale in the upper back. Exhale. Good. Inhale. One more exhale. Nice. Just press up, stand, relax the hands by your side. Okay, and then step closer to the chair or step to the chair. Separate the feet wide. Turn your right toes to 12 o'clock. Left toes are going to turn in just slightly, and that'll help with the placement of the hips here. And then from there, both hands can be on the chair. Bend into that front knee. Bend into the front knee. Start to feel that outer right hip and that leg work for you. And then if you're comfortable with it, left arm can reach out. You know, if you're comfortable with it, maybe you try both arms reaching out, okay? And just take a moment there in your warrior two. And then from here, right hand, bring it back to the surface of your chair. Turn the left palm up. As you inhale, straighten your right leg and just reach the right arm up toward the ceiling. And then as you exhale, lower it down. Now your elbow can be bent. Inhale, arm might not go all the way up, right? Exhale. Last time, inhale. And exhale. Just hold it for a moment. Again, if you're feeling, brave today and you want to test your balance and the strength of the legs, both arms can reach out. Palms can be turned up or palms can be turned down and arms straight. But sometimes when we have shoulder compression, it feels nice to turn the palms up and bend the elbows a little bit. And you're still going to get the opening across the chest and the strengthening in the upper back. Okay, it's a win-win. Hands to the chair, straighten your leg, turn all 10 toes so they're forward and they're in line. And then set yourself up for the other side. So the left toes are going to turn to 12 o'clock this time. Right toes are going to turn in just slightly. Bend into that front knee. And then let's start by taking the right arm, reaching it out. Okay, so hand and wrist in line with the shoulder. For a moment, if you'd like to try it, left arm out as well. So our chest and our belly are even and level toward the chair. Okay, and then let's take left hand back to the chair. Turn the right palm up. Inhale, arm reaches up overhead, left leg straightens. And then exhale back down into it. Twice more like that. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Inhale. And exhale. Let's hold this one. Again, maybe for more of a challenge with balance, both arms out. Palms can be down. You've got options. It's your practice. Okay, stay there and breathe. And return both hands to the chair, straighten the left leg. Turn the foot so that it's in line with the right. Go back to the other side, right toes to 12 o'clock, left toes turn in. This time just keep your legs straight. keep your legs straight, both hands onto the chair for now. Pitch your torso forward toward that front leg a little bit, and then left arm high. It doesn't have to be huge, doesn't have to be a lot. You know, depending on the surface of your chair, you might be able to kind of take the hand down the chair a little bit if that feels good. Or if you have a nice wide chair, you know, maybe your hand, just situate it in a way that works. But feel the muscular energy in this front leg. Feel a nice stretch there. Hand to hip, lift yourself up. Turn the right toes back so they're in line with the left. Turn the left toes out, right toes in slightly. Just keep the leg straight, so go ahead and straighten through the leg. Okay, left hand to the surface of your chair, right hand to hip, and then just pitch your torso forward over that front leg for a moment. Engage through your center, and then right arm can just reach up and away. And I should have said it on the other side if this isn't, you know, if that's too much with the arm reaching, you know, you could just reach it out. Or maybe you're taking hand to the back of the head. That's a nice option as well. Maybe fingertips to the shoulder and the elbows pulling up. Wherever you're at, be mindful of the placement of the head. So I can tell for myself right now, I have this forward carriage of my head. I need to lean the back of my head back just slightly so that, you know, it's relaxed and I'm not tensing in the upper back. Good, hand to hip, come out of it. All right, and then walk the feet a little bit closer. So feeling good, strong energy there in the legs. I'm gonna scoot the chair a little bit more forward because I'm running a little bit out of space. All I want you to do is step your left foot back, turn the toes out just slightly, you know, just angle them out a little bit, like 10 or 11 o'clock on a dial, kind of see how that feels. Right leg is slightly bent here. Okay, and then take the left arm out, cactus the arm. If you're feeling good and strong and just grounded, maybe right arm out too, finding that balance. Just holding your warrior one. Maybe arms reach up overhead too, that's a great option. Just stay here, breathe, inhale. And then as you exhale, bring the elbows, inner elbows toward one another. And then inhale and exhale. Maybe just one arm. Inhale if you're feeling a little bit wobbly, and exhale. Good. Step the back foot forward, and I want you to step right into your tree pose, right into your balance. So I'll move the chair to the side, bring the foot to the inside, and your toes can be like a kickstand on the floor, right? Or maybe you're starting to come up a little higher in the leg and challenging the balance of the right leg, okay? Wherever you are, hands can stay to the surface in front of you. Right, or maybe hands to hips, or you're just letting the hands hover. Ooh. And just know that if you find yourself, you know, stepping out, losing balance, that's how we find balance, is by losing it. So be okay with falling out. And just continue to breathe slow and steady. Take another moment here in tree pose, wherever you are. And then release, step down. Come back, both feet on the floor. Feel how that feels. Take a moment. Moment's over. Right foot back. Left foot is forward. Again, angle the right toes out just slightly. Okay, and then once you feel the position, and you might want to take the left foot a little bit wider. So taking your feet out a little bit wider is going to help you feel a little more stable and balanced. Okay, and then we'll start right arm out. And if you're comfortable with it, both arms come out. And lengthen those elbows away from one another. Take an inhale. Maybe the arms go up if you're comfortable with that, if that feels good, or just keep them bent. Okay, just breathe and hold. And then from here, inhale. As you exhale, elbows toward one another. Again, inhale, open and extend, and then exhale. One more, inhale, and exhale. Good, inhale. Hands return to the back of the chair, and step your back foot forward and right into your tree pose. So the right foot comes to the inside of the left leg, anywhere you feel comfortable today. Hands can stay on the chair. Feel the levelness and the evenness on the bottom of the left foot. So feel level, and then relax the toes and just relax the breath, and try and find a sense of ease as you hold this shape. Good, step out of it. Return both feet down, relax the hands by your side, pause and feel. Feel connected, feel calm, feel grounded, feel centered. Okay, and then let's take a seat into our chair. So I'll turn this way just to keep a profile position. Come into your chair and come to a place so that your feet are grounded. And then we're going to avoid the slouching and the rounding in the low back. And I want you to engage the front anterior abdominals by lifting and lengthening through the spine, coming on to our sitting bones so that the chest just comes slightly forward of the hips and you feel that engagement. And we're nice and tall and we're engaged in the torso here. And then from here, just take a nice supported side bend. So taking your left hand to the seat of the chair, extend the right arm up, inhale, and then exhale, take a side bend over. And again, you can just have fingertips or maybe hand to the back of the head. And then switch it out. Take the right hand to the seat of the chair or the arm of the chair, whatever you're working with at home, left arm up, and then side bend. And just take a couple breaths in your side bend. Again, I can feel my head forward, so I just need to lean it back a little bit. And I'm not over-rotating the neck by any means. The neck is relaxed and comfortable. And then come all the way back. And then speaking of the neck, let's continue to do a little bit of work there. Take the right arm up. Okay, take an inhale here. As you exhale, lower the right hand down, look over the left shoulder. Let's do that a couple more times. Inhale up, look forward. Exhale, lower the hand, look left. Again, inhale and exhale. Good, inhale back up to center. This time, lower the right arm to the right, lower the left ear to the left shoulder. Okay, and then come back up, lean the head back up, level. Twice more. Exhale, left ear, left shoulder, right arm moves to the right. One more, inhale. Exhale, come down. Let's hold this one. So you're using the reach of the right arm and the heaviness of the head and the drop of the left shoulder to traction space along the neck from shoulder, top of shoulder to bottom of your ear. And then you might use the left hand to place on the left side of your face and bring yourself back up. Use that hand to push yourself back up. Relax the hand down. Hands on your thighs, close your eyes, take a moment. Scan along right side of your face, your ear, your jaw, side of neck down to the shoulder. Open the eyes and then begin by taking left arm up overhead. As you exhale, lower the hand back down, look over the right shoulder. So just breath with movement. Inhale. Exhale. Again, don't concern yourself with how high the arm is going. Inhale, you just do what you can do. Exhale. And then inhale. This time we'll lower the left arm left and right ear right. And try to match the speed and the pacing of the arm and the head moving. That's hard to do. Exhale. Good, inhale. One more time, exhale, right ear. Let's hold this one. Again, imagine that you have a heavy sandbag in the left arm and that reach of the left arm is helping get more space along the left side of the neck. And then with the right hand, place it on the side of your head and use the hand to draw yourself back up, head up as you relax the left arm down. Both hands onto your thighs. Take a moment. Take a cleansing breath in and a releasing breath out. Okay, open the eyes. And let's take a nice seated hip stretch. Cross your right ankle on top of your left thigh, okay? And then notice if this happened. Notice if you wanted to kind of back out of it and round and release out of it. Try to stay lifted, okay? And if this is way too much for your knee or for the musculature around the hip, you can always just try just taking the foot to the ankle down here and getting a little bit of external rotation, and if it try rocking a little bit side to side with the torso. Okay, kind of a little bit of side to side action there always feels nice. So starting with more movement, dynamic stretching, kind of encouraging that hip to release and to open. And then if there's any more room to find just a little more stretch sensation, you could try bringing your torso a little more forward, and that's going to intensify. But if you feel yourself starting to grip or tense within the shoulders, the neck, hands, maybe even just your breathing, then I would suggest come out of it a little bit. Go to where you can be at ease, right? So effort with ease, effort without strain, right? We don't ever want to feel that we're straining or in pain. And then undo that, pull the knee up, and relax it to the floor. And second side, left ankle. Just take the first few moments to organize, find what works for you. You know, if you're down here with the foot to the right ankle, that's totally fine. Otherwise, you're up here. And then again, let's just take a little bit of side-to-side movement with the torso. Side-to-side movement with the torso. Just a nice gentle rocking side to side. And then after you've taken a few rocks side to side, maybe just hold for a moment in stillness. Maybe that's coming forward just a little bit. Slow, steady breath. And then release out of it, bring the foot down, okay? Okay, a couple of options from here. We've had a nice solid practice, physical practice of creating good strength, flexibility, and energy in the body. So you're set up for seated meditation. If you want to stay seated in your chair and just take a few moments of quiet time or meditation, you're in a great place to do that. If you want to come down to the floor and take a more traditional Shavasana, that would be an option as well. Okay, or maybe it's time to go. You have things to do, right? I suggest you take a few moments of stillness to let all of that absorb and incorporate. So, if that works for you, lie on down. If you have a little bit of discomfort, like lying down flat on your back is not comfortable, take your pillow or a blanket, roll it up, and just bring it underneath your knees. So there's a little support underneath the knees, and that helps create a nice release through the back. Or maybe you just want to keep your knees bent for a moment or so. All right, so if you have the time, take the time, use it to relax, to be still, to be quiet, and let all of that work just integrate. And just allow your breath to come back to its natural rhythm. Allow your thoughts to quiet. Just be in your experiencing body. Feel your breath. Come back to that place of curiosity and awareness and scan and notice, how do you feel? What is your internal tone? So often when we finish a yoga practice, we tend to feel better in our body physically, a little more stable within our emotions, our mood, and more mental acuity. We have that clarity within our mind. So continue to be where you are, whether that's in seated meditation or lying in Shavasana, and allow yourself to be, okay? And as always, I thank you so much for practicing, taking care of yourself, taking the time. Be well,